Good morning. How are you all? I'm in the garden and I'm so happy. I've not been here for a while. I've got a lot to do. Today is going to be a good day, so I'm going to spend it all in between dental hygienist appointment, family meeting up. I want to get a few bits and pieces done, but first let me show you a little bit of the chaos I've got to work with right now. Right. Some of you may think, oh, it's not as bad, but to me it's bad. The grass needs cutting, the hedge needs trimming, my planters which have plants in them need to be organized, and I've also got seedlings to transplant. I'm going to let you into a little secret. I have had trouble, just like a lot of other people have had trouble with tomatoes that we started. I started my tomatoes towards the end of March, and still that was too early. So next year my plan is start the tomatoes mid-April, not before. And look what I had to do with a couple. I've gotten rid of some. Let me show you. It's easier to show than to explain any other way. Hold on. What you see before you here is my tomato graveyard. I just couldn't cope with having so many tomatoes indoors at the size these were at. As you can see, if you look in the window, they're all gagging for light and not getting much in way of light. So I actually just came home one day and I just threw them outside. These were all black Russians. I'm like, you might be saying, but Stella. And I'm like, do you know what? No, I just couldn't. I couldn't cope. So I got rid. And then what I also did is I got a couple of them and decided to give them a chance at life. So this is, let me check and see. Hold on. I don't know what this one is. Honeycomb. So I put a honeycomb here. My logic was it's by the door and therefore and by the house. The bricks warm up during the day, so they maintain a certain level of heat in the night. So I put these in, I think it was the weekend, in the week commencing the 22nd of April. I decided to take a risk and put them out, and so far so good. They were a little bit, sulky, but because they were already flowering, I just thought, no, let me put you out. Let's see what you do, and we will go from there. So yeah, so that one was put in, whether or not it wanted to go in. And then I put this one in as well. And this one is, I think it's a Rosella. That's it. It is a Rosella. So I put the Rosella in as well. And it's doing fine. They're doing fine because they're right next to the wall where they get a lot of warmth, and therefore they're going to remain happy. So what I want to achieve today, because I've got limited time before my dental hygienist, but then after I come back I can do a lot more, is number one, I want to move all these containers and put them away. I've got a specific area I can actually put them in. So I need to start tidying and clearing this whole space in order that we can actually have a space that looks gorgeous. I want to transplant a lot of the stuff that I started, and it has grown well for me. But has Stella done anything about it? No. Now, if you ask me what I've got in here, I have no clue. I do not remember what I put in here, but they're doing fine and they're so desperate to come out. I think this might be beetroot or spinach, one of the two. I know that I've got spinach in there. I've got cauliflower in there that has actually grown, so that needs doing. I really want to change out my fig pot and give it a bigger pot, and I can just sit it in that corner but in a bigger pot. It's forever pot it's going to be. I need to sort out my, what are they called? I need to sort out my lettuces, because look, they're all growing in these little pots. I just kind of multi-sowed them, so I'm just wanting to take them out of there, clear this space and put them in here in this bed. I also want to try and sort out this netting. I had put in this other netting, but I don't like it. I want things to be very pristine in the way they look. So that means I'm going to try and actually get my other part of the net. I now wish I hadn't cut it, and use it to cover the kale which is in here. And as you can see, it's actually kicked off, but something is eating it because of the fact that it's a little bit too closed off. I'm sure there's little slugs that are climbing up the net and eating it from there. So all that needs doing. Right, let me get on and I'll show you. I'll give you updates as I go. As you see, my nasturtiums are growing very, very enthusiastically. I've also got some beetroot which is growing well there. I just need to make sure that I push the peas that way because the beetroot is being hidden and eaten. Right, let me get on. Hi, I'm enjoying my new bed immensely, and it looks pretty. I can't stop the excitement. Can you hear the birds in the background? This is before everyone comes out with their mowers and starts mowing. But anyway, let me show you what I'm doing. As you can see, I've put some of the lettuces here, but I've left a small pot to put in the back garden. Because the peas were covering up my beetroot and I had a couple of slugs, they've been a bit demolished, so I put some more in. I don't know what this is. It looks a bit like it's maybe spinach, so I'm putting it in. I got one of those pots. It is fantastic. Once I worked out how to do it, it's so easy because all you do is push it through and it comes out as a little plug. The only issue is, for some reason, despite the fact that there was water in there, it wasn't hitting the compost, and so they're very, very dry. But I'm sure they will recover once they're given a little bit of water. So let me carry on and continue. I found that I've got some sort of animal that thinks that this is its what's it called, its toilet. So I had to scoop out quite a bit of my manure and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect it by putting spiky stuff all over, or when I cut the grass today, I'll use it, or the hedge, I'll use it to mulch this space, making it less attractive for toilet. But I will also probably end up buying a trail camera to make sure it's not someone's dog, because if it's someone's dog, I'm taking their poop to them and I'm going to ask them to make sure that I'll put it on the group chat and find out exactly whose dog it is, and then ask them to make sure that they actually keep a hold of their dog so the dog doesn't come in here and poop in here, because there is a small dog that is left loose on its own. But hopefully it's a cat. If it's a cat, I can deal. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a lot of spices, old spices around here. So I've got like curry powder, chili powder. I'll just sprinkle it all over. It's worked in the past and it should work here as well. But it looks pretty, doesn't it? Okay, I've put in all these guys. I'm going to go get the spinach and put it over here. And I know spinach is very well liked by slugs, so I'm hoping and praying that it will not get eaten. But what I've also done is I've actually put some carrots in between. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a line of beetroot again, and then I'll put in spinach at the bottom end there. I've also got some pak choy, which I need to find space for. I also need to tie back these peas so that they don't actually get in the way of everything else that is now growing. This end of the garden sees the sun a little bit later on, so it remains cold for a bit longer, but I think all these guys will do absolutely fine. The fact that I managed to germinate directly sown beetroot at this time of year, I planted it a while back, but I don't remember when. But from now on, everything I do, I'm journaling. Exciting. Okay, so spinach, I've put a few nasturtiums in there, and now I'm just going to take the remaining spinach and a few other bits and pieces to the back garden. I've got a little bit of time before I have to set off for my dental hygienist appointment. I put in some carrots as well. I've put in some beetroot. I just need to label everything on here first, I think. Hi. I'll turn this way. We're in the back. I should really have started here because the weather is much nicer in the back at this moment in time. And so I'm busy just sorting out the mini pots and putting a few bits and pieces in there. Let me just show you a little bit of what I'm doing right now. So what I've done is I've refreshed this, mixed in a bit more of the Silver Grow, because Silver Grow has a better drainage. I've put it in here in the hope that it will actually be nice for the little mini, I'm assuming they're either mustards or lettuces. I don't remember what I sowed. I've even put in the ones that are a little bit, hold on, let me get out of the sun. Some of the ones that are wilted because they were not being well watered, and hopefully they'll grow. I've put spinach in here. It's probably not big enough for spinach, but I'll still leave it in there. I just have to make sure that I keep it well watered. I should have had, I'm thinking of adding a bit more manure in this area where the garlic is. So what I'll do is I'll create grooves and put a bit of manure in there in order that the garlic can grow well. Just taking off the dead leaves because there's no use having them. I'm going to continue until this whole section is done. I'm going to put nasturtiums in the bottom one. These are spring onions that have actually gone beyond being spring onions, but they're still growing, so I'll leave them in because they're pretty. And then what I have done here is, as you can see, I'm going to put a nasturtium in this one here, and the garlic is doing absolutely fine. I just pushed this garlic in here because I had nowhere else to put it, and it seems to be doing absolutely fantastic. So a nasturtium in there and in the bottom one, and then I'll be done for now. This plant I got from somewhere where I went for an Airbnb. I have no clue what kind of plant it is. He told me, but I forgot. But I love it, and it creeps. So what I want to do is I want to transplant it into a nicer pot today. My husband said he likes it here, so I'll take some of it and put it somewhere else in one of the pots, and then hope that it will take over there as well. I was told that it's a very vigorous grower, enthusiastic in wanting to live, so I'm sure it will spread nice and easy. Then something else I want to show you are my tulips. I'm a bit disappointed in that my orange ones have not come up yet. They're here, but there's nothing in them. But the purple ones, I had hoped they would come up together. But the purple ones are here, and they're looking absolutely gorgeous. But they're a bit swamped by the big tulips that have brought nothing. Not a single flower. So if the orange ones don't come up, I will actually be going back to the person I bought them from, and telling them that I want my money back. But they do look nice. I wonder how long they'll last, because I saw them as buds and now they're opening and then they'll be gone. Another thing that's happening here is my snowdrops are out and looking absolutely lovely. Loving them to bits. I'm disappointed because in there I've got crocuses, not a single one. Not even one has come up. So I'm going to take them all out, call it a day. In here I had some onions. A few have come up, so I've put something else here. Don't know what yet. These bulbs have finished, so once they fully die off, I'll cut them, pull them out, and I don't think I'll put them in here again because I need this to have something enthusiastically growing throughout rather than a temporary flower. And these guys I covered, it's actually quite a good idea. I covered these in the winter to stop weeds from taking a hold. So it's just been sat in there happily breaking down, and it seems to be doing fine. So when I know what I'm putting in there, I'll actually then uncover it. And I did the same in the bottom one here, and it seems to be doing fine. So right, let me carry on. I'm enjoying this. This looks so nice. So nice now. Okay, I'm back and we are getting there. It's taking time because what I've now done is this. Let me just show you. Right, I've bought this to stop critters trying to climb in. I'm hoping this is good enough. If anyone thinks I have to do more, let me know. Maybe put a net across the top as well. But for now, this is what I've done to protect it from cats trying to get into there. And in the back, I've just transplanted some of my Swiss chard into here so that this will be a bed of Swiss chard. I'll probably put more Swiss chard in there, and then I decided to give one of the plants, the Black Russian, a second chance. So I've just planted it into there. It's not that I don't have enough plants. I've got loads of plants. Trust me, I've got loads of tomato plants, but I always like to give plants a chance. I've moved the strawberries, and I noticed that I had a slug actually eating strawberries. I didn't know that slugs eat strawberry leaves, so I've moved them, but I really need to get in and create my plan for the allotment so they can go down to the allotment. And I'm also going to try a new system, because I tried to put my strawberries in this. It did not work because the watering of the container as a whole is challenging, and so it created problems for me. I've just bought another one from Lidl. They've got these, their pots are fantastic. I mean, this looks lovely. It's sturdy, it looks lovely, and it takes a lot of plants. So for herbs, it works really, really well. So I've bought another type, which I'm going to place just there, and I'm going to see whether or not it will work for the strawberries. If it does, then that will be fantastic. If it does not, then they'll all go to the allotment as my plan was before. Right, let me carry on. I've got to go pick up a child. Mommy taxi is on call now, and then I'll get back and start mowing the lawn. The plan is I'll get this side done first, and as I mow, I'm thinking I need to get rid of a lot of stuff so that less is more, as they say. So I need to start purging. That's the word. Right, I'm off. I just got totally completely petrified by a frog or whatever. It must have been a frog. Siniconda. Hey, Maopia. Yeah, Peter. Maybe Iriapa. Okay.